Thinking of studying in Finland? Before you pack your bag, watch this.
But before we dive into it, let's take our verse of the day.
Hello, my name is Alison. In today's video, we're going to be talking about 6 things to consider before moving to Finland. The first thing on our list will be the cost of tuition and scholarship. In Finland, most schools cost between 7,000 to up to 12,000 euros for non-European citizens or non-Finnish residents, which means that if you're a European citizen or you're a Finnish resident, you can have the possibility to school totally free of charge. But nevertheless, in as much as the cost may be high, there are various ways in which you can cut the cost of studying in Finland. The first thing to consider is your scholarship. Make sure that the school that you're applying for does offer scholarship programs, and some schools in Finland do offer scholarship between 1,000 euros to up to 100% scholarship. So what you need to do is to check. Make sure you go to school websites and check if they do offer scholarship. Another way of cutting cost when it comes to your tuition fee in Finland is to go for vocational schools. Most vocational schools in Finland do offer totally tuition-free programs. Some vocational schools that offer tuition-free programs are Riveria, Omnia. You can check this on my TikTok channel. I talk about other vocational schools that offer tuition-free programs. The second thing to consider when moving to Finland as an international student is the cost of living. When it comes to cost of living, there are various factors that you need to consider. For example, the cost of accommodation. Most student accommodation in Finland costs between 300 euros to up to 500 euros. And in addition to that, you equally need to consider your feeding. Most students in Finland spend around 200 euros on their feeding. Another important thing that you need to consider is transportation fare. So when it comes to transportation, the bus service is always available for all students, and the cost ranges between 50 to 60 euros. Meanwhile, there are various ways to reduce your cost of living when it comes to living in Finland. For example, instead of going for the bus service, you can go for bicycles. You can always get a second-hand bicycle, or you can always check Facebook pages in Finland that do offer free stuffs. So from there, you can have the possibility to get a free bicycle. If you're not fortunate enough to get a free bicycle from all the Facebook pages, you can as well get a second-hand bicycle, which will be very handy when it comes to your movement, except if you want to go to far distance places. Another way of cutting down cost of living in Finland is by shopping through cheap supermarkets like Lidl or local shops. In addition to that, some schools do offer student discounts. So this will go a long way to help you. The next thing to consider when it comes to moving to Finland as an international student is the language and the culture. It is important to know that Finland will speak Finnish. And in as much as Finland has 3 official languages, which are Finnish, Swedish, and English. But English language is not like totally spoken in all parts of Finland, though you will still find lots of Finns and other expatriates that move to Finland that speak English, but it will be so beneficial for you to integrate yourself by learning the Finnish language. Most schools do offer cross programs where they do teach in English and in Finnish, and sometimes the government may even enroll you for a 6 months Finnish class. This will go a long way to help you and facilitate your integration in the system, especially when it comes to seeking for a job. Another thing is you would actually discover a lot of cultural shocks when it comes to Finland. And some of these cultural shocks are, do not expect someone to greet you or say hi to you on the street or while in the bus. And in most cases, in the bus, you shouldn't sit close to a stranger if you don't know them. So in most cases, if you walk into a bus and there are no free seats, it's better for you to stand. Another cultural shock that you may face in Finland is, at this point, I would say if you haven't subscribed yet to my YouTube channel, please go back and subscribe, because I'll be uploading more details about moving to Finland and life in Finland. And by the way, don't forget to give a like on this video, comment and share to your friends and family members that are planning to move to Finland for studies. You would always find bicycle parks in almost everywhere around the city, especially on buildings or supermarkets. They always have bicycle stands where you can always park your bicycle when you want to enter the building or you want to go to the supermarket. Another interesting cultural shock that you need to know about Finland is most supermarkets and most shops close by 8 to 9 p.m. maximum. The next on our list will be education and teaching. Finland has a very high standard of education. And when we talk about education in Finland, we equally mean student-based approach, which means that you would have to do a lot of work on your own, especially when it comes to projects, research, and things like that. So that's the reason why you really need more time to focus on your studies, to do your assignments and things, which leads us to our next point, which is the number of hours required for part-time job. As an international student, you have access to 30 on 3 weeks work time, which means that you can have a part-time job, but your part-time job should not exceed 30 hours in 3 weeks. The reason why it is so, it's because of the student-based approach system of education in Finland, because you need enough time to focus on your studies. That's why your working hours are being reduced so you can focus more. By the way, the reason why you came to Finland was studies in the first place. That's the reason why they would limit the number of hours. But at the same time, you equally have the opportunity to do part-time jobs in Finland. So don't get discouraged. The last and not the least thing to consider before moving to Finland is residence permit and immigration. So when it comes to applying for your residence permit, most definitely you can only apply for a residence permit once you've gotten your student admission. And some requirements when it comes to applying for the residence permit are, firstly, the proof of funds. So generally, the proof of funds for student visa in Finland is between 6,720 euros if you're planning to study for at least 1 year, and above 560 euros per month if you're planning to study for less than 1 year. So for example, if you're planning to study for, let's say, 8 months, it will be 560 euros times 8 months. This is to enable you to cover for accommodation, feeding, and other living expenses, especially when you just move in. The Finnish government is just trying to protect you in the sense that if you happen to move to Finland and you don't get a job as soon as you get in, you would still be able to cover your cost of living. You'll still be able to have a normal life until you're able to secure a job for yourself. So other requirements are, you need a valid passport. That is, your passport must be valid for at least 6 months as at the time of application. The next thing is you need to provide a certificate of acceptance or an acceptance letter from your school. This is what shows them that the reason why you're coming to Finland is for study. The next thing that you need is your clarification of tuition or scholarship. Let's say, for example, your school fee is 7,000 euros and you've gotten a scholarship of 4,000 euros. Now, the tuition fee that is left for you to cover is 3,000. So you must provide them the means in which you expect to cover the remaining tuition fee. But now, if your scholarship is completely 100%, then you will just need to provide them the scholarship form. In addition to that, if you applied for a vocational school, then you don't really need this certificate because all or most vocational schools in Finland are completely free of charge. The last thing that you need to have is a certificate of insurance or health insurance. This is very easy to get. You can have this on any insurance website. In addition to that, it's important for you to know that the processing period for residence permit in Finland ranges between 2 weeks to 2 months, especially for student visa. So all you need to do is to apply and be patient. And moreover, let's say you've now come to the end of your studies. What's the next step? That is, you're done with your graduation now. The next thing is to apply for a residence permit that will permit you to search for a job in Finland. So yes, definitely, you can go ahead and plan that trip. You can go ahead and plan that studies in Finland. We've now come to the end of this video. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to give a like on this video. Comment and share to your friends and family members. Thank you for watching. Bye. Moika.